Hi everyone, this is Nitin Bhatia. I am currently working as a GM Operation Excellence with Sun Pharma. I have almost 18 years of experience, out of which more than a decade in Operation Excellence. My most of my experience is with FMCG, but I have worked in FMCG, chemicals, and currently into pharma. And today, my today's session would be on how to accelerate the idea generation process within an organization, and you could find a connect in my presentation with the presentation presented by Jasmine and Jitendra. So I hope you can connect the dots and you can get some more insights on idea generation processes. So good evening once again. So whenever we focus on idea generation, so it is tapping of employee ideas. So tapping of employee ideas requires idea generation, idea evaluation, then execution of ideas. And once those ideas are executed, we need to reward and recognize the people who are giving the ideas. And all of these activities are very important to a process, and hence every organization should have a well-defined process that captures all these four important activities. So when we come to an idea generation, I would like to mention of this quote by a visionary leader, Jack Welch, who once said that if the rate of change outside the organization exceeds the rate of change inside, the end is in sight. That means if your competition is improving faster and better than you, very soon you would be out of the competition. And if you have to stay ahead of your competition, you have to make your process simpler. You have to make your product or services better, faster, and cheaper. This again, this is a slide which once was presented in a forum by Mr. Venki Padmanabhan, who is an ex-CEO of Eicher Motors, the bike called Royal Enfield. So I like this slide very much. That it presents a very good analogy of how human body survival is related to the profitable and sustainable growth. So if you see, almost 8% of the human genome it contains the endogenous retrovirus, which are now redundant in our genetic systems. They may not harm us now, only when there is a mutation we may have some diseases, but most of the time they are now harmless. They have infected our ancestors, but our body have fought those infections, has created the DNA to manufacture the right proteins so that we can be a dominant species. Same way, if we want to have a profitable and a sustainable organization, we need to work on making our we need to work on this easier, better, faster, and cheaper, so that we can provide right products at right time and at right cost to the market. This only will drive profitable and sustainable growth. So the key benefits of the good idea generation program, most of these benefits were already covered in Jasmine's presentation. Like if you have a good idea generation program, it improves morale. The engaged employees are almost 125% productive, and the business is almost 22% more profitable, and the employees stay 2x longer. The idea generation process drives and ownership and engagement. It drives a feeling of my process, my machine, my area, my improvement, my company. And when you do idea campaigns, many teams come together to work on an idea, to work on a process improvement that fosters team spirit also. And cost reduction, increased profits is an end result of any good continuous improvement program, not only the good idea generation program. So if you have a good idea generation program, you will definitely reduce your cost and your profits will be increased. So again, when we these ideas in a day-to-day process, the ideas keep on flowing from everywhere. So in Jasmine presentation, she had shown up a quote by Richard Branson, which said that ideas are lifeblood of business. We need to tap the ideas whenever they are generated. So whenever we are doing a daily performance dialogue, or whenever we are having an idea workshop or a root cause analysis session or an idea campaign, the new ideas keep on coming. We need to have a system where we can capture these ideas. The quantity does matter. This was also discussed with Praveen's session in the beginning, that we should focus on quantity rather than quality. Quality can be taken care of later, but first thing is quantity, and every idea which is generated is worth to be captured and in the repository. So when you do an idea generation, the idea campaigns are also a good way of getting ideas and keep getting more and more ideas and keep the employees engaged. So many of the companies work on an idea campaign methodology, whereas that they have one focused idea stream every month, and employees are asked to give ideas on that theme. So you can have one theme every month or once in a 2 month, be it safety, be it quality, be it cost reduction, utility, great place to work, new product idea, anything. But this, if you have 1 or 2 themes every month, so it keeps your employees engaged, and it keeps them focused that how I can improve my processes day in and day out. So when you run idea generation campaigns, it is also important that we should send some idea capsules to stimulate thinking around the idea. So this idea capsule could be a knowledge snippet, or could be an infographics, or could be a quality fable, which can stimulate the thinking, or it can be a best practices or from the other industry, or a good practice of your own industry or other plant. So what happens is, when you give these snippets, people read them, and they start thinking about their process. The idea is that these capsules should be very short and simple, and infographics could be the best way, so that people can relate it, understand it very quickly in a less than 2 to 3 minutes read. So coming to idea generation part, what happens is that earlier we used to, whenever we used to have, we wanted an idea, we used to gather in a conference room or a learning center, and traditional way was to gather the ideas on paper based, write it on a idea pad or a post-it note, and drop it in a Dropbox, or we have an idea board. But these practices, with COVID coming in, and with social distancing norms coming into picture, we may not be able to go with these techniques now. The new generation technique is that we should have a digital platform to capture these ideas, and this digital platform should be designed in such a way that it should be accessible from any device, any of the personal device, like my laptop, my desktop, my iPad, my notepad, or my mobile. Because until and unless it is the ease of the employee to enter the idea will stop coming into, and we cannot gather now in a groups, or we cannot have this traditional touch-based mechanism post-COVID. So the ease of getting ideas should be taken care. So and another thing is that when we have an online idea form, we should give consideration to a fact that when we are capturing this data online, we should not ask for too much of information. Okay, we should be very concise in the idea generation form. And basically, for any idea, I basically need 4 key information: is what is the current situation, what is my problem, what is my proposed solution, and what is my expected benefits, whether it is financial or non-financial. It is very important that I capture these 4 basic information, and rest is like you design a process around it, but the idea form should be very simple, and it should be easy for a person to capture that information and give it to the system. Once you have an idea, it is important that idea should be evaluated, but that evaluation process should not be bureaucratic. I would prefer to have a evaluation process at a 2-stage, wherein the level 1 evaluation is done by the team leader. The team leader just accepts it or reject the idea and move it to a to-do basket. And the rejection is mostly on the basis of scope, relevance to the business, or conflict with the lean principle. A frequency of a level 1 evaluation by a team leader is either once in a week or or if we can do more than once in a week, that's good. The stage 2 evaluation by a department leader is for resource allocation, and the representatives from other departments like EHS, the quality and engineering can also join with the HOD evaluation, and they should give a clear-cut communication of resource allocation along with this level 2 only, so that a person should not be chasing many people for getting his idea evaluated for further execution. And all this process should be done online. So this is a typical idea evaluation platform process flow, that once an idea is submitted, it is first reviewed by a team leader, and a team leader either accepts it and move it to a to-do basket or rejects it basis the scope which has been decided. And once, if the idea is rejected, it is essential that why you're rejecting an idea should be communicated to the person who has generated the idea. Once the idea has moved to a to-do basket, the HOD reviews that idea for resource allocation, whether it's budgetary resource, manpower resource, support from engineering function or quality function or EHS function, and the idea moves to in progress. Once it is in progress, it's a management commitment to review the progress time to time, and devote some time for to evaluate the progress and make it to the implemented basket as soon as possible. Once the idea is implemented, the idea is sent to the site finance if it is a financial idea for closure, where the site finance vets the benefits, the financial benefits, and idea is moved into a closed category, and then the idea moves for reward and recognition. Reward and recognition again can be monthly or fortnightly, but not later than that. So once you it is once the idea is in execution basket or in progress, it is very important that we review the idea. We set up time for various ideas which are in progress in the organization, and understand what the issues are being faced by the execution teams if the idea is getting slowed down or it is not being moved to the completed basket fast. Another thing is that we should we should have a dashboard wherein the status of all the ideas, how many have been received, how many have gone in rejected category, what are in the to-do list, what are the ideas which are parked. Parked means there would be some ideas which are doable, which should be done, but we need some resources either in terms of budget or in terms of support from the external department, and that department may not have sufficient time right now to support this idea. So we can keep it in a parked category, so that but idea cannot be in a parked category for a very long period of time. And then how many ideas are in progress, how many ideas are completed, and how many ideas are closed, and whatsoever ideas has been closed, what is the financial savings we are getting, if at all, from those ideas. So once you have this dashboard, it gives a traction on that idea. Entire team is connected to that idea. So I will tell you this case study of a idea generation and execution. There was a large cap company with a $4 billion turnover, and it had multiple plants scattered all across the globe. So there the management targeted a reduction in 8 to 10% on indirect costs. Okay, so once they target indirect costs through a series of idea campaigns and over a period of 3 months. Now, in a first stage, what happened? The ideation session was done with a leadership team in a corporate, and the regional heads and the site heads and the other team members, cross-functional team members, were invited to a corporate, and they decided on a broad themes, that across which themes will work and what will be the target in each of these themes, so that cumulatively we achieve 8 to 10% of reduction in our indirect costs. Okay, so this was first phase. Now the second phase was that once these themes and targets were decided, each of the team went into their respective manufacturing locations or their other functional level, and they had a detailed brainstorming deep dive sessions at these functional level, and the many ideas were generated with the team, and each site team or a functional team was asked to filter out 25 to 30 high impact idea which can be implemented in next 6 months. And when this started, at some point of time during the reviews, it was found that some of the ideas were getting dropped because of the feasibility issues or there were some other challenges. So the team decided that let's have a cluster of sites. Now, in the second phase, there was individual sites. Now we had a cluster of sites coming together and sharing of the ideas. So what idea was workable at one site may not be workable at other sites. So they all brainstormed together and identified the ideas which can be taken up further and to reach our target of 8 to 10% of savings. Now, around after these ideations were done and the ideas were finalized and approved for execution, there was a robust mechanism built to review these ideas. So the top level review was by MD's review, which was once in a month. The MD used to review with the leadership team around how many ideas have been executed till now, what are in progress, what are the ideas which are currently waiting for resource allocation or budgetary allocation, what is the support required from MD office or the leadership team. The second level review was the leadership review, which happened every week, that the leader used to review that among his various teams of the sites, how many ideas are being done, which site has moved maximum number of ideas into in progress state, or and which site has completed most of the ideas, which site is giving me more and more savings. And every week, 2 or 3 of the selected sites would present their detailed presentation on how they are going with the ideas. And then there would be a reward and recognition by a functional leadership team. So the crux of this case study is that management, whatever philosophy, whatever ideation you have, the management commitment is must. The management should be committed to give their time for reviewing and their support to execute those ideas to get the savings. And it is, I would like to mention that this entire target of 8 to 10% reduction was achieved in the period of 9 months. Entire organization was able to save around 10% of the cost in indirect spends. That was a huge saving, because if you see a $4 billion company, generally indirect spends would be somewhere around 7 to 8%. So if it is 8% of 4 billion, that becomes 320 million, and 320 million, 10% is 32 million savings. That's a big saving. So coming to rewards and recognition, I would the reward and you should have a well-defined process for rewarding idea generation, and the individual or a team who has given maximum number of approved ideas, a team award for maximum number of completed ideas, and we should also reward a team leader whose team is giving maximum number of ideas, because then only what happens that the leadership is motivated to sponsor the ideas. And if leadership is not motivated, the team will never success in doing the idea generation. So we have to motivate the individual, the team, as well as the leader also. And when you come to the reward category, all the ideas which are closed we should have a rating criteria, that each idea would be rated on certain parameters, and then based on that rating, we should award that closed ideas. Whichever idea has closed and given benefit to the organization should be awarded. Second is the best idea. When you come, the idea with the highest score, based on your decided criteria, whichever idea gets the highest score should be rewarded at least once in a month or a quarter. And the third category is a breakthrough idea. So very few selected ideas would be those ideas which have given maximum impact to the business. Those ideas should be awarded by a highest level as MD or CEO, so that the employees get motivated for more and more breakthrough ideas. And that's how it will drive innovation. Okay, this is a sample for a sample criteria sheet for rewarding and for rating an idea. This is not exhaustive. I've just based on certain parameters of safety, quality, cost, OE, and their business weightage and the impact to the business, high, medium, and low. I have designed this criteria sheet, but you can have your own parameters because I am from a manufacturing organization, so this is more related to a manufacturing. If it is from service, you can have your own parameters and you can rate an idea. So that's how each idea will get a rating, and you can have a reward and recognition mechanism based on that rating. So another good idea is that when you have to drive an innovation, So it's a best practices that we should have an innovation council, because what innovation is an unrelenting drive to break the status quo and develop a new where few have dared to go. And innovation at sometimes at most of the times is quite challenging, because very few ideas will see a light of the day. Okay, and innovation is the cornerstone of sustained economic growth and prosperity. Any organization which has to grow has to do innovation, because innovation commands price. Innovation commands your price point. Innovation drives your profits. So if once to drive this innovation, it is a good thing to have an innovation council, and the job of the innovation council would be to get the ideas generated and evaluated in the direction which you want to innovate, presenting that concept to the corporate leadership team. They should filter those ideas, pilot the concept, present it to the corporate leadership team, do a cost benefit analysis, then support execution of team in pilot and subsequent scale up, evaluate and monitor business benefits, and reward and recognition, identify new opportunities. This cycle should continue. Praveen, I have a poll on this slide. Can we go to it?
Nitin, maybe I think you can ask it here and they can respond in the chat.
Okay. So I would like to ask a question that what do you think is the success rate for an innovation in FMCG organization? Because most of my experience in FMCG. So what do you think, what is the success rate of innovation in any FMCG company? %5. Any other? I just seen one answer. 70%. Okay. Any more?
Somewhere around 20%.
Somewhere around 20%. Okay. Any more guesses? Okay. So should I move to my next slide?
Please go ahead.
Yeah. So as per the study done by AC Nielsen in 2015, the success rate of innovation in FMCG company is around 0.1%. Okay. So only 23 ideas, or 23 launches, 23 of the 16914 launches in last in 3 years from 2012 to 2015 was successful. So the success rate is very low in innovation. But does that stop us from innovating, or we should get more and more ideas to try more and more ideas for innovation? Now I have just taken this excerpt from a annual report of an FMCG company, and just I would like to reiterate on the fact that even launches mean the new product launches. So even the companies are recognizing the fact that success rate for the new product launches is very low. The new products may not be accepted by a consumer, or even if you launch and they are acceptable, but they may not achieve their sales targets or revenue margins. Okay. And risk is more pronounced in the cases where industry leaders try to invest in new categories. A company is there in a category. If you want to invest in new category or come up with a entirely different product category, the challenge is much bigger. So here we come that though innovation is tough, the success rate is low. So should we stop innovating, or should we start focusing on getting more and more ideas? Idea is we should get more and more ideas. For every one successful idea, we need at least 1,000 ideas which needs to be tried, tested before a successful launch can be there. See, there could be a cost to 1,000 failures, but one success in an innovation idea can give us better results than the failure of 1,000 ideas. This is a case study of a innovation case study of a mid-cap FMCG company, which was targeting a double-digit growth uh, uh, with new avenues, with new product launches. Okay, so they wanted to be more entrepreneurial and agile with higher innovation velocity. They wanted to launch more and more products more frequently into the market. So company constituted an innovation council with a period of 1 year, and every year this innovation council would take up the charge and will give up a charge to the new members. And these councils decided in the first phase, they decided to come up with two areas like premium skincare and male grooming, and second was health food. And this under these two areas, they did an ideation session, and then from these ideation sessions, they gathered the ideas, they evaluated the ideas, they piloted the ideas, and they started with the help of the corporate leadership team. They evaluated each of these ideas and started doing product launches. And if you see this company, the revenue has grown by almost 22% in last 5 years. And company is aspiring to be a 13 to 15% year-on-year revenue growth on the back of 8 to 10% volume growth through new product launches. So I would say that success is not final and failure is not fatal. We should not have a fear of failure. It is a courage that courage to continue that counts. So every time we fail in our innovation, we should try to get more and more ideas to come back with a innovative product. That's all from my end. Thank you.